called 3. Well, let's talk about the channel itself. What inspired you to start the Streets Ain't Loyal channel?
So I started to see a lot of. I watched a lot of YouTube on my downtime, and I started to see people talk about things, and I'm kind of like, they talk about prison or the life, and they put something out, and it's just like turns me off. It's like, come on, why are you lying about that? Like something so minute, something, and I feel that if things are going to change, the truth has to come out. You can't be filling them up with lies. You want to be as truthful as possible because that's the only way things are going to get changed in our world, in our lives. So I figure I would be as honest as possible, whether people like it what I said or didn't. The only thing I stay away from is politics.
The prison politics.
Yes, prison politics.
Have you noticed that there is conversations on prison politics on YouTube, but most of the guys that are doing it are either, I guess, I don't know, dropouts. And no disrespect to those guys. I know the word dropout is considered a disrespect, but it is what it is, right? Some of these guys that were on PC yards and the dropouts, they're on YouTube talking about politics.
Yeah, but I'm not going to say names. There's channels out there that I don't know if they're dropouts. I don't know what they are. I know that they talk about things they shouldn't talk about on the air. So that's, they might not say this is prison politics, but the stuff they're saying is prison politics. So it's just good sense just to not to talk about it at all.
Yeah, I think a couple people have been hurt and killed in the last year or two for being on YouTube saying the wrong things on both the brown and black side.
Correct.
And I can say this. I did an interview with the brother from Lowell. And I feel real bad about it. And I'm not the only person he did an interview with, but I'm the first one he did an interview with. Then he went on to another platform. Then he went on to another platform. And people inside prison were disappointed. I thought he did a decent interview. He spoke about stuff that was 30 years old, Sonny. 30 years old. But for those who don't know, bro got hit. He got hit in late 2002 10 times and survived it. And I moved those videos off my
Wasn't it 22?
It was
not
October.
2020. Not 2002.
I said 2002. My bad. I believe it was October 2022.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought he was okay because he was talking about something from 93. What's that? 30 years ago. Am I right? 30 years ago?
Yeah.
But it didn't matter. He still got hit. And it just let me know that everybody's watching this YouTube stuff. Even in prison, they're watching it. They're on their cell phones. So you're right. There's a lot of things that shouldn't be said. And even when you think it's okay what he said because it wasn't really disrespectful, he's just telling a story, it was still too much.
Yeah, it's I don't know anything personal about this guy. I don't know any, I mean, I've never met him, never dealt with him. I just know that people get upset if you talk about their business. And that's just with anybody. If somebody's talking about my neighborhood or something, I'm going to get offended. No matter how long ago it is, if somebody's talking about my neighborhood and I don't like what they're saying, I'm going to get offended. So I'm sure that's how those other people feel.
Yeah. So what needs to be done here? Because there should be some sort of protocol. Just like if you're on a prison yard, there's rules, there's reglas, there's protocol. We should have that for YouTube.
Well, I've always been saying that we need to have levels, level 1, level 2, level 3 in the SHU program in YouTube for the way some of these guys act. And there are, don't get me wrong, there are some good channels that press positivity and they're not talking about that kind of stuff. It's just the ones that are talking about that kind of stuff. I don't think they realize sometimes they think because they went to prison, they know everything. That's not true. And a lot of times they talk about things they just shouldn't mention, because it's going to get somebody hurt one of these days. If it didn't do it now, it might do it later.
Yeah, I remember I did an interview of a former Cardinal named Kilroy. Rest in peace. He just passed a couple years ago from COVID. And off camera, me and Kilroy can talk about everything. everything you want to know about history, the penitentiary, going back to the night. I think the first time he went to prison was in the 50s. In late 50s he went to prison. Then we did an interview, and he was a changed man. He's a Christian. You know, he even had his Bible with him when we would meet up. And I did an interview where we talked a little bit about the prison stuff, a little bit about his history, but he also wanted to talk about his faith. So I let him talk about his faith, and I put it in the interview, and I left it uncut. But a lot of people were like, "Man, why didn't you ask him more about this? Ask him more about that? Ask him more about these other things?" And people just don't understand. There's only so much that we're gonna put on camera. There's only so much we're gonna talk about. And this is a man that was at the time 75 years old. Even as a 75-year-old man, he understood, you know, I'm not going to go into certain things. I'm not going to talk about certain things. And I get it. But a lot of people that are watching and that are listening, they want more.
Yeah, it's natural because they don't know anything about it. But if you've been to the system or been locked down long enough, you understand, mind your business. Don't get into somebody else's business. And that's a good practice to get into. You know, people sit there like, say, me and you were talking, and we're talking about this individual, and I'm not saying that anybody particular, it's just some individual, right? And we're talking about it, and somebody overhears it, and I might be the only one saying something bad about him. You're just sitting there listening like, oh, man, I got to listen to this dude. Dude, you're just as guilty for saying something as if you said it. Just by being in that presence. And you learn that in jail where it's like, dude, you just don't talk about things, period. You just mind your business, worry about your family and your family visits and your food. That's it. Don't worry about nothing else that's happening in the yard unless you want to participate.
Yeah, man. But, you know, because of this YouTube, your YouTube success is based on how many views you get, how many subscribers you have, how big your reach is. And people are realizing that if I push the envelope and start talking more about this, and even though you're not supposed to talk about this, you're going to get more views.
Right.
So there's like this human nature element that is causing content creators to go against the grain. They may be doing it subconsciously. Maybe they're doing it deliberately. I know some of these guys like Savage Studio. I know Savage Studios didn't want to get killed.
Yeah.
But he ended up killed because he pushed the envelope too far. So where do you think this is all going in like 2024, 2025?
I don't know. I see it's going to come to an abrupt end sooner or later. Somebody's going to get touched that probably shouldn't or doesn't realize it. Me, myself, my channel's only at 5,500. Now, I can blow it up, and I know how to blow it up.
Yeah.
I won't do it because I'm not going to sell out my integrity to do that. You know what I mean? It would be nice to get a big fat check every month, but I got family I got to worry about. I got things I got to worry about. I can walk anywhere, and I don't have a problem with nobody because I don't talk about things. There are individuals out there that don't like when people talk about things. You know, unless you're in the street, they're like, hey, you talking about this? No, they don't do that with me because I keep my mouth shut. I just have nothing to do with it. I'll stay with the little bit of numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So did you learn